Hey everybody, how y'all doing tonight? I have had a busy day. Y'all probably have too. So something I don't do a whole lot is a quick weeknight meal. But tonight it is a quick weeknight meal. I've been trying to do it for a couple weeks and I just hadn't gotten there. Other things came up and other plans, but tonight I'm making one of mine and my husband's favorite, beef stroganoff. And it is so simple and so easy. Please don't buy that hamburger helper stroganoff. Doesn't even take much longer than that, and it's so good and fresh. Now I'm using some, I just bought a 1 pound little sirloin steak and I sliced it real thin. If y'all watched the live the other night, it's about the same thickness as I did for the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. But anyway, just slice it thin, the whole steak, just a sirloin steak. And we're going to pan fry it really quick. And I've already got some egg noodles that I boiled. They boil for 10 minutes. Put a little salt in the pan, boil them for 10 minutes. You got the egg noodles to serve it over. Some people like to serve it over rice. I like mine over egg noodles. The other thing is you can make this stroganoff with hamburger if you don't have sirloin steak. I thought about, actually, mine was 0.96, not quite a pound. I thought about adding some hamburger in here, but this is plenty. I'm using a ½ pound of mushrooms, so with the mushrooms and this, I've got some broccoli florets heated up in the microwave, so it's a really quick dinner. Let's get it going so I don't take so long talking. My kids are probably laughing right now going, uh-huh, exactly, Mom. So we got our oil, and this actually was already heated. I'm going to turn it back on. I know y'all can't see me. Sorry about that. But it's the best I can do, y'all. It is the best I can do. I'm going to drop a little piece of this meat in there and see if my oil... Yeah, she's got to heat up for a second. It's bubbling in there, though. It won't take but a minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat this beef. And I might have to do it in 2 batches because we kind of want it to brown and we want to do it quick. And the Dutch oven, you know, the bottom of this pan is a little bit smaller than the top, but I want to cook it all in the Dutch oven rather than in a frying pan. So we're going to brown this meat up really quick, and then when that comes out, we'll saute us up some vegetables, and then we'll work on the sauce. All right, she's hot, y'all. She is hot. All right, we're going to put in some here. I've got just a couple of tablespoons of avocado oil in here. And it's only like, 2 minutes on each side is all. You don't want to cook this to death. And you don't want to overcrowd your pan because then it just steams and it's like stew meat, and that's not what I want. I want it fried, and I want it fried quick. I'm not really putting any salt or anything on this meat. Normally I would, but the sauce has got some salty to it. So I don't want to get it over salted. But just so you know, in here I've got salt, pepper, a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of Dijon mustard and a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. We've got a 1/2 of a medium onion, 8-ounce container of mushrooms I sliced up. I got 2 tablespoons of butter. Once we get this meat out, then we're going to put the butter in, and we are going to saute our vegetables in the butter. We don't have to worry about a smoke point with them because the liquid in the vegetables is going to keep our butter from getting too hot and smoking up. Okay? So over here for garnish, I'm just telling y'all this while the meat cooks. So over here I've got a little bit of diced or chopped up parsley and a little bit of green onions, and that's what I'll top it with. Okay? Alright. This first batch is done. See, this is fast, y'all. This little meat right here, don't take it but a second because I eat rare steak. Okay, I don't eat medium rare or anything. I like it rare. Or maybe, well, I wouldn't say rare. I guess I like it medium rare. A cool center is fine with me. Woo, woo! Look at she is popping. I'm glad I put this apron on, y'all. Because this meat's got a little bit of moisture to it. And I had my pan almost on high. Just trying to fry this up right quick. Alright, we got the last little batch in here. That's another good reason to use the Dutch oven, because it's more for it to splatter in the Dutch oven. Because if you had a frying pan, I mean, it's getting some grease all over, but if you had a frying pan, it would really be getting the grease all over. So this is a good thing, this Dutch oven. Plus, when I get the sauce in here and start making the sauce and add everything back in, the Dutch oven's going to just do a little bit better job. I could even, once I get the sauce and everything in here and get it all cooked, I could add the noodles in and just make it a one-pot meal. And look, if I had kids at home and I had more than just me and my husband, that's exactly what I'd do. I'd mix the noodles and everything in there and call it a day. But with me and my husband, I know we're going to have leftovers, and I do not want the sauce and everything on it, because to me, it just tastes better if you, when you're reheating, if you can reheat it separately. So, anyway, that's just the way we do. Alright, she's ready to flip. Quick weeknight meal. And who doesn't love stroganoff? I mean, what is not to love, right? I know my head's cut off, people, but y'all don't really need to see me. I've seen some people do videos and all you ever see is their hands. So, just bear with me tonight, because everything's happening in this pot. All the magic's going on right here. What are y'all having for dinner tonight? Comment and let me know what y'all are having tonight. I didn't post my menu up. What am I having tomorrow night? I am going to try to do that chicken broccoli braid if I can. Although I actually scratched that. I forgot I bought a big old pork belly on sale. So my husband is, look, I made some pork belly burnt ends, and he fell in love. So he asked me tonight, are we having burnt ends? No, honey, we're having beef stroganoff. He said, well, that's all right, I like that too. So I'm sure tomorrow night I've got to do the burnt ends. So that'll be something probably fun for y'all to watch, is the burnt ends. Pork belly burnt ends is like, oh my goodness. There's some good stuff. If y'all ever had pork belly burnt ends, let me know in the comments if y'all have ever had those. Alright, we're going to throw the mushrooms. We're going to throw the onions in first, because it takes them just a little bit longer than the mushrooms. So this is just half of a medium onion. All these good brown bits are in here from the steak. So that's going to saute for a minute, and then we're going to put our mushrooms in and let those saute up for a couple minutes. Alright, yes, y'all, I'm doing my dishes in front of you. I'm cleaning as I go. Okay, that's what you need to learn to do, even on a video. Okay, that's just how I roll. Alright, now we're going to put our mushrooms in. Hey, if your family doesn't eat mushrooms, hey, leave them out. No big deal. Your family doesn't like onions, leave them out. Your family doesn't eat steak, tell them to go somewhere else for dinner. Just kidding. Hey, if your family doesn't like steak, just put maybe the mushrooms and the onions and do a vegetarian one. And then don't even worry about the steak. But how would it be beef stroganoff? Ooh. Maybe it would just be veggie stroganoff. Or that impossible meat. Look, we have had some vegetarians at summer camp. I've tried that impossible meat. I don't like it. It's dry. you can't get enough moisture in that stuff. It's just dry, people. It's not good. I don't like it. As Layla, my granddaughter, used to say, I don't like it. I don't like it. Hats off to you vegetarians that like it, and maybe if you eat something long enough, you kind of get used to it, but I'm sorry, I'm not a vegetarian, and I don't want to get used to it. Well, I don't like it. Alright, I'm putting it, I'm going, just getting a step ahead here and squeezing my garlic. You want to, 3 to 4 garlic cloves, depends on how much garlic you like. I'm using 2 big ones and 2 little baby ones. See, I'm just tending to it a little bit here and there, just sauteing this up. Won't be long, should be about ready. By the time I get this all smushed and my garlic pressed clean, we'll be ready probably to go to the next step. Okay? Oh, come on back over here. Alright. Alright. Here comes my husband, so he might walk in the door not realizing I'm videoing and start talking, so y'all just be ready. What time is it? I told him dinner would be ready at 7. He's pulling up. It's 3 minutes till 7. But it's going to be close. It doesn't take long. I won't be much later than that. But I did have to go take the dog out, so I'll tell him I took the dog out so he doesn't have to. Alright, let's crank this burner back up here real quick. They're about ready to go. Alright. We'll fire that up a little bit. We're going to put our garlic in here. Alright, now we're going to get that a little bit fragrant. Let that kind of bloom, if you will. And then I've got a half a cup of white wine. Try to get a little bit of dry white wine, but just some white wine. And we're going to use that white wine to deglaze this pan, and it's going to get up all those good little bits and pieces that the steak left and that the onions and the mushrooms had in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this cook down for about 3 minutes. Y'all don't, I guess, want to sit on here and watch this just cook down. So as soon as this is cooked down for about 3 minutes, I'll jump back on here, okay? Y'all know I have a problem with this remote. Alright, y'all, so the wine is cooked down. This is reduced down about half, something like that. It was 3 minutes. So now what I've got is a cup of beef broth and a cup of beef broth and 2 tablespoons of flour that I've mixed together in this pan. So I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to pour this in. Alright, I'm going to cook it up for just a second here. And then what I have is, I have a half a cup of heavy whipping cream. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to let this cook up for a couple minutes here. That's going to thicken it a little bit, this heavy whipping cream. Hi, y'all. This heavy whipping cream is going to, thicken it up a little bit. Oh, I meant to tell y'all, when you simmering down your wine and these little onion mushrooms in here, turn your heat on up to about medium high, and let that, go ahead and cook down pretty quick. Now, if you didn't have any, much other liquid, you might not, need to do it 3 minutes. You're just trying to cook off the alcohol in the wine and get that flavor out of there, and don't nobody want to drink hot wine. Think about if you'd left a bottle of wine in your car all day, would you want to go out there and drink it? No. So you got to cook it down to get the flavor where you want it. It intensifies as it reduces down. Alright? So this is thickened up. I don't know if y'all, it's kind of hot. It's like gravy, okay? It's the consistency of gravy right now. So I'm going to go ahead and whisk in our heavy whipping cream. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, I've got 1/4 of a cup of sour cream. But I need to temper the sour cream because I don't want it to curdle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this 1/4 cup of sour cream right in this same measuring cup that I had the heavy whipped cream in. And then I'm going to take this little spoon right here and whisk this up a minute. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this spoon, I'll take my whisk over here, and I'm going to take this spoon and I'm going to get a little bit of this hot liquid out. You don't need much. And I'm going to just whisk this in, and that's tempering. What that is you're taking something cold, like whether it's eggs you're doing or something like this, and you're just getting it more up to temperature so that cold doesn't hit the hot and it turns into curdled yuck. Okay? So let's get our little rubber spatula here. Now I've got my heat now turned down on about medium. Okay, I only had it up high when I was reducing that wine down. So now we've got our heavy whipping cream, we've got our sour cream, our beef broth, our flour. Alright, and we're going to just cook this for a couple minutes here until it really just kind of gets hot and starts to thicken up. Okay, I'd like to show y'all this. I know, here go my fingers again, y'all, like I always do. Alright, so here's what it looks like. You can see it's simmering a little bit. It's kind of thick, but it's going to, you know, cook just a couple minutes, like 2 or 3 minutes. And then we're going to add in our other seasoning over here. See, it's starting to do that little simmer. You can see it bubbling a little bit. It's not a full rolling boil. We don't want that. See where my temperature is? You see that grease splattered up. But that's, you know, about medium right there. So we're just going to cook this down a little bit. Get it good and hot. Let her thicken up. If y'all could smell this. Oh my word. It smells so good. There's our beef over there waiting to hit this pot. Okay. Alright. I don't know why I've got y'all just watching. Alright. Yes, my hand's over the daggone camera again. Sorry, people. How many videos do I have where y'all watching my hand? Somebody tell me that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and add in our Dijon mustard, our salt and pepper, and our Worcestershire. Tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Half of a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Half a teaspoon of salt. 1/4 of a teaspoon of fresh ground pepper or cracked pepper, whatever you like to use. We got that in there. Now it's getting that stroganoff kind of color. Alright. So now all we're going to do is we're going to add our beef in with all the leftover little beefy juices. Okay. We're going to stir this up for a minute. And ladies and gentlemen, we have beef stroganoff. It is ready. Okay? Let me show y'all what it looks like. One more time. I'll show y'all one more time. Okay. There it is. All that good beef and mushrooms in there. Okay. So I'm going to come over here and get our noodles, and we're going to plate up, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all. Here's the plate. Can you see it? I know my light is terrible. So we got I just got a little bit of broccoli, a little bit of tomatoes on there. Can y'all see that? It looks delicious. Let's give it a little taste. Right? Just really gonna take. Oh, there's a little piece of meat. I can get a little piece. And mushrooms. She's hot. Creamy. Delicious, y'all. Delish. Man, those mushrooms, that sour cream just really sets it off, doesn't it? But we go into the table and see how Charles likes it. Let's go see if it's a plate liquor. Alrighty, we are to the table with our quick, easy beef stroganoff. Honey, say the blessing you mean.
Say it. Father, thank you for this food we're about to receive. Bless this food and nourish our bodies. Bless the hands that prepared it, and thank you for providing it. Help the less fortunate find food and shelter. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Well, it looks pretty. It's all colorful.
It smells good. It looks good. Let's see what we got going here.
Hot. Burn your tonsils. We got a I like when it starts off with a
Oh, yeah.
All right. We're hungry. We're going to eat. We'll come back and see if he licked his plate. All right. We have eaten our dinner, and it was delicious. Charles?
Delicious. Absolutely. I could keep eating it. It was definitely a plate liquor.
A plate liquor and a quick meal. Y'all saw how fast that was. There's nothing to it.
That's so good.
Make you some stroganoff. See you next time.
Bye-bye.